You're listening to The Scrimmage with Daniel Hargrove and Justin Damasiewicz.
Speaking of ways to ridicule Daniel, this is Stump Daniel, brought to you by the law office of Jeff Damasiewicz. And I just want to remind you, the scrimmage is brought to you by the law office of Jeff Damasiewicz, State Farm agent Mark Rossetti, and also Ole Penn Real Estate. So for this particular edition of Stump Daniel, I decided to go back to the well, which has been a little back and forth for me. I'm going back to Name That Mariner. So just to refresh the audience on what Name That Mariner's rules are. I'm going to give Daniel hints. He can but doesn't have to. He's not required to, but he can make a guess of the player after every single hint. And every hint that he goes guessing the player wrong or not guessing the player, he looks a little bit dumber. I have 7 hints in total, and by the time we get to the 7th one, if you don't know it, then you just failed because you're just a diehard baseball guy and Mariners fan. So you should know these things, all right? Do you have a legal situation and need someone on your side? Let the law office of Jeffrey A. Damasiewicz be your advocate. If you've been the victim of medical malpractice, suffered a personal injury, or need representation with real estate law, small business law, or estate planning, let Jeff Damasiewicz put his 29 years of experience to work for you. Call Jeff Damasiewicz today at 360-612-3991 or visit damasiewiczlaw.com. That's DAMASIEWICZLAW.com.
All right.
Did I successfully set you up with great confidence?
No, and even less confidence. Usually it's not a good sign or omen when my Skype call says poor connection right before this starts, too.
Okay.
So
Okay.
We'll go for it.
First hint. This player led the 2011 Mariners in home runs with 19. Let me repeat that because it's a staggering number. This player led the 2011 Seattle Mariners in home runs with 19. Do you have a legal situation and need...
Whoops.
I've got some guesses. So I guess I should. Did we say can Jimmy help me with this one?
No, he's only allowed to laugh at you.
Laugh at you. Oh. All right, so I've got some guesses, so I might as well throw some names out there, eliminate some players. So I'll throw out Jose Lopez.
It is not Jose Lopez. Okay, here is your second clue. This player also led the team in 2011 with 62 RBI. Let me repeat that. He led the team with 62 RBI. And yes, I'm saying it RBI because it's runs batted in, not run batted ins, okay? Led the team with 62 RBI.
I was so confused.
Wow. Why did Felix Hernandez stay with this team? Let's see. 19 home runs, 62 RBI. Russell Branyan.
It is not Russell Branyan. I'm sorry, that was a terrible guess. This guy's the opposite of Russell Branyan.
He's the opposite of Russell Branyan.
Yeah, I just said that. It didn't mean anything. All right. Your third hint. This player was signed as an undrafted free agent by the Oakland Athletics in 1996, but didn't make his major league debut until 2002 when he hit a home run in his first at-bat for the Chicago White Sox.
Wow.
You don't have to guess. You could choose not to guess.
I'm going to choose... Oh my gosh. Franklin Gutierrez.
It is not Franklin Gutierrez. Sorry, that was a terrible guess also. All right.
No, it wasn't.
Hint number 4. This player was a Mariner from 2004 to 2005, and again from 2011 to 2012.
Oh my gosh. Wait. No, wait. Raul Ibanez.
It is not Raul Ibanez. That was also a terrible guess. All right, your next hint. This player played for 7 different major league teams, debuting with the White Sox in 2002 and ending his major league career in 2014 with the Los Angeles Dodgers. He was signed by the San Francisco Giants in 2016, but never made it back to the bigs.
Oh. No, I think that's too long ago. Gosh darn it.
I mean, you could just give up if you'd rather just give up. That's fine. I don't think our sponsor would mind if you just gave up on the segment.
This is another terrible guess, but it's the only name popping into my head right now. Michael Morse.
That is also a terrible guess. Congratulations, Daniel, on your 5th consecutive terrible guess. Here is your 6th hint. This player was released by the Dodgers in 2014 after a dugout altercation with a teammate during a AAA game led to him biting a chunk off of his teammate's ear. Would you like me to repeat the hint? This player was released by the Dodgers in 2014 after a dugout altercation with a teammate during a AAA game led to him biting off a chunk of his teammate's ear.
I love that he doesn't know that. That's amazing.
Well, it didn't happen while he was with the Mariners, which I think is contributing to that. And in fact, I will admit, I didn't know this story until I looked up this particular player. But he totally Mike Tyson'd the crap out of Alex Guerrero's ear.
Milton Bradley?
It is not Milton Bradley. That was another terrible guess, probably your worst one yet. Okay. Moving on to hint number 7 after 6 consecutive awful guesses. You should get it after this one. This Dominican-born catcher was acquired by the Mariners in 2004 in a trade that sent Freddie Garcia to the White Sox. This Dominican-born catcher was acquired by the Mariners in 2004 in a trade that sent Freddie Garcia to the White Sox.
Apparently you like old catchers because this isn't my answer, but Jesus Montero was a previous one of yours. I'm going to say Miguel Olivo.
It is Miguel Olivo. Congratulations on your first not terrible guess of this segment of Stump Daniel.
He bit a guy's ear off.
So per ESPN, I think of all these Stump Daniels and Name That Mariner, the most fun thing has been trying to find a semi-obscure guy that people will still know, and then like really digging into everything about him. I don't remember this ear-biting story at all, but it's funny because the altercation began on the field. It was something in a pitching change. Olivo was upset by during a pitching change. He had some kind of argument with him about getting a tag down. So that's how it started, and it went into the dugout. Now, Alex Guerrero, who's the guy who got his ear bitten off, was a Cuban player who had just been signed for $28 million. He was batting .376 in AAA, and it looked like he was about ready to get called up. So Olivo was on the 40-man roster, but he was assigned to AAA at the time, and then he bit the ear off of the guy that was supposed to be like one of the best future players of the franchise. And I don't know if it was all completely related, but Alex Guerrero also never turned out to be anything. He played basically one full season and was never any good. He missed over a month because of the reconstructive surgery that he had to have on his ear just to be able to get back out there and play
Whoa.
baseball. Yeah, and then to cap it all off,
Dang.
Olivo only played 8 games in the majors that year, and he batted .217. So he was not a contributor,
Wow.
and he bit the ear off of one of the guys who was supposed to be one of the futures of their franchise. That guy turned out to be garbage, probably because he only had 1.5 years. That'd be my best guess.
That's insane. Also, it's insane that he led the team in home runs and RBI with those terrible numbers.
19 and 62.
Wow.
And I'll add also, that was not like he only played half a season. He played 130 games that year, and he batted .224. The Mariners were just massive garbage. Like the guy who led them in almost every other category that year was Ichiro, and they just had like no power hitters and no guys to drive runs in. But it was a dark time. I think we all remember.
Yes.
It was a dark time.
Yeah.
Still there.
The
Yeah,
dark
it
time
was-
has been continuing.
It is a dark
By the
time.
way, also another plug for that SB Nation documentary that they're doing right now. Go watch it. It documents how dark the Mariners' entire history is, besides like 2 or 3 seasons. It's pretty darn good. All right, that was sadly another Stump Daniel where even though I finally got the correct answer, I still feel beaten and bruised.
Yeah, you should, because just to be perfectly clear, the 7th hint was designed for you to feel 100% confident guessing the correct answer. And I think you still had some hesitation there.
Yeah, there was a little bit. I was pretty certain, but yeah. And you're right, half of those were terrible guesses.
No, 6 of them were terrible guesses.
All right, that was Stump
100%.
Daniel, brought to you by the law office of Jeffrey A. Damasiewicz. Again, thank you so much for that sponsorship.